Once upon a time, in a world not so dissimilar from our own, a brilliant yet tormented scientist named Henry toiled away in his secret laboratory. He was consumed by the possibilities of genetic engineering, dreaming of a future where humanity could be liberated from the shackles of disease and imperfection. In the depths of his despair, Henry's thoughts grew darker. He began to wonder if he could change humanity in other ways, too. What if he could make them stronger, faster, and more resilient? What if he could create a new race of superhumans, immune to the cruelties of nature and the whims of fate? With a trembling hand, Henry began his experiments. He delved deep into the mysteries of DNA, unraveling its intricate code and piecing it together in new and unimaginable ways. And as he did so, something sinister began to take shape in the shadows of his mind. One fateful day, as the sun cast its dying rays upon the horizon, Henry made a terrible mistake. In his zeal to unlock the secrets of the human genome, he had gone too far. The beings he had created were no longer human, they were monstrous hybrids, grotesque amalgamations of flesh and bone that bear little resemblance to their once human forms. As the creatures awoke from their unnatural slumber, they let out a chorus of guttural screams that chilled Henry to his very core. Their grotesque appearances varied, yet all were equally horrifying. Some had twisted limbs, disproportionate to their bodies, while others were adorned with an unnerving number of eyes, staring maliciously in every direction. Patches of scaly skin were interspersed with raw, exposed flesh, and their mouths were filled with rows of razor-sharp teeth, capable of tearing through anything in their path. The creatures moved with a haunting, unnatural gait, a mix of lurching steps and unsettling, fluid movements that defied the laws of nature. Their shrieks were not only the harbingers of terror but also an expression of their own torment, as if the very fabric of their existence was a source of unimaginable pain. Henry knew that he had unleashed a terrible curse upon the world, and the weight of responsibility for his actions bore down on him like a crushing burden. With a heavy heart, Henry watched as his creations escaped from his laboratory, wreaking havoc upon the unsuspecting world outside. Towns were razed to the ground, their inhabitants fleeing in terror before the unstoppable onslaught of the monstrous horde. In his darkest hour, Henry realized that the only way to undo the damage he had done was to confront his creations and put an end to their reign of terror. He armed himself with the tools of his trade, donning a suit of makeshift armor crafted from the remnants of his shattered dreams. As Henry ventured forth into the night, he was plagued by visions of the horrors he had unleashed. The monstrous beings roamed the land, sowing chaos and destruction in their wake. And yet, amidst the devastation, he also glimpsed moments of profound beauty. The courage of the people who fought to defend their homes, the love of families torn apart by tragedy, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. With each step he took, Henry felt a growing sense of responsibility for the world he had shattered. He knew that he could not rest until he had set things right, until he had redeemed himself in the eyes of those he had wronged. Resolute in his decision, he began to search for allies who shared his desire for redemption and the restoration of balance in the world. As the first light of dawn began to break over the horizon, Henry and his newfound allies steeled themselves for the battle ahead. They devised a plan to neutralize monstrous beings, drawing on their collective knowledge of science and technology. They understood that they alone could undo the horrors that had been unleashed, and that the fate of the world rested in their hands. As the monstrous beings approached, Henry stood tall, filled with a newfound sense of purpose. He knew that the battle would be fierce and that the odds were stacked against them. But he also knew that they had no choice but to fight for the sake of the world, and the sake of their souls. The epic clash ensued, a battle of unimaginable proportions that shook the very foundations of the earth. Henry and his allies fought with unwavering determination, employing a blend of cunning strategy and cutting-edge technology. The tide of the battle shifted, as hope began to flicker like a fragile flame amidst the chaos. As the dust settled, a single figure emerged from the wreckage, battered, bruised, but unbowed. Henry had triumphed over the creatures he had created, but the victory had not been his alone. It was a testament to the power of unity and the indomitable human spirit. Though the world lay in ruins, it was not beyond salvation. With the monstrous threat vanquished, Henry and his allies dedicated themselves to rebuilding the world, learning from the mistakes of the past. The folly of playing God with the building blocks of life would serve as a cautionary tale for generations to come, reminding humanity of the delicate balance between ambition and responsibility. Thank you for watching. You could download the vocabulary PDF below. To stay up to date on our future videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and let us know what you think in the comments below.